Morning, RJ. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Ron. How about yourself?
Doing great. It's really hot. It's 100 degrees out here in Texas. I wish I was out in San Diego with you.
I don't know that it's that much cooler here in San Diego. We're under some heat dome ourselves, so
Are you
it's
really?
just
Yeah, I remember when I had my office there in San Diego. I loved going to the office. We'd sit outside at Togo's and watch at Mira Mesa the Top Gun fighters go overhead, and we used to just love the weather
I
out there. So,
I had to stop a conversation yesterday. I'm like, hold up 1 second, and F-16 or something was flying over my house.
yeah. Well, today's a real fun one. If you guys have seen the channel at all, RJ and I have been heavily focused on AI lately, and that's what most of our clients are asking us about. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. Everybody knows they need it. The biggest problem that we're seeing is that they don't know how to use it, and they don't know exactly how they're going to benefit from AI in their business. And because they don't know that, they can't define kind of the need, which means if they can't define the need, they can't get a budget put together, they can't put a risk analysis, they can't do an ROI, they can't. And so it's really hard to get off the shelf. And studies have shown, and there's numerous studies that have shown this, that 76% of all AI projects never get beyond conceptual or proof of concept, and they never get into production. So a lot of companies are trying to take that leap alone. They fail, or they don't get beyond conceptual, they waste some money, and then they just don't get it. And meanwhile, their clients, and the studies from this one have shown that anybody that does adopt it and implement it correctly, their experience anywhere from between 1.5 and 2.4x revenue increases by properly implementing it. So today, this is really simple. We're not trying to sell you anything. Today is, here are 10 ideas to get your brain thinking about how could you possibly use AI. So I'm going to let you kick us off, RJ, today. Why don't you get us started?
Yeah, the thing that comes to mind, Ron, when you're talking about this is there's certainly a sentiment out there that AI is a solution looking for a problem in a way, right? Like to
Right.
your point, everyone knows, hey, AI is out there, we should be using it, but okay, this is a solution. What do I do with it?
Right.
So the goal of our time today is to define here's some really sort of good starting points that actually can generate a positive outcome, because I think that's really what it is. It's not using AI in some capacity beyond like ChatGPT, which most everyone's doing now, in a business sort of application. Starting and doing it in a way that generates a positive outcome to then go and really dive in deeper where the bigger probably payoffs are. But
Right.
a lot of times what I say in conversation with my clients is like, we're not going to be successful in the long run unless we're successful in the short run, right? You got to get a win early and then build on that momentum. So I think today's topic, at least what I think is super interesting about it, is there's various areas where there is a really strong use case for AI, and there is a really high probability of success if done right, which then can sort of fuel this, the organization to look at more maybe complicated or maybe deeper things that you could use AI for, where there's a ton of value. So I'm excited about this, and I think when we the way that we have this organized is looking at it in sort of different channels almost. And the first channel, probably the channel that a lot of people think about when you start thinking about AI, is the customer experience. Like, how are you engaging with your customers? And there's some of those that I think are pretty well known at this point in time because they work, right? And so we have a few of those. We have three of those. And the first one is one I think we've talked about a little bit in the past. I know we've got some projects that are doing this, which is using AI for a chatbot, right? And the great thing about AI is it is that is something where you can consume a lot of content. You can spin it up, especially with a platform like OpenRails. You can spin it up quite quickly, right? So it isn't a complicated endeavor to go ahead and look at your all of your support documentation, your product information, looking at past customer support tickets that were successfully resolved, and all these things, so you can enable that in a self-service manner so that someone can come and get those answers very quickly, very effectively. It can be done in a customer experience flow that makes sense. And it's really what it does is the whole thing is when you start talking about customer satisfaction and all that sort of stuff, it's how quick can the customer get their answer, right? And so something where they're able to go in, and it's probably not going to solve every problem, but if you can enable it for those that want to use it, then your team can focus on the more complicated projects or clients that really need sort of a higher level of TLC, and they want to have a direct conversation. And that the benefit of that for the company side is efficiency, right? So you're being more efficient. Your resources are being deployed to deal with, like I say, more complicated or more sensitive inquiries, that sort of thing, or ones where the sort of a white glove approach is more appropriate. So I know that, Ron, you've had a ton of experience in doing this. Like, what maybe is like a quick tip on how somebody should think about getting started in using a chatbot?
Yeah, well, the thing, there's a couple things there, and you're 100% right? This is probably the lowest hanging fruit, the easy one that everybody at least understands the concept. The thing that you need to think about this is, if I had one teacher, would I want that teacher trying to field all the questions for 1,000 students, or do I have that teacher teach the chatbot and correct all the answers and make sure the answers are perfect, and all 1,000 students at the same time could be hitting that chatbot and getting instantaneous photographic memory responses from someone who remembers every single thing that teacher's ever said, right? And now we use the teacher to fine tune and correct all the answers, that now this chatbot can service many, many more customers a lot faster and provide all those answers. And now the teacher's time is training and correcting and adding new information to the chat, right? So the thing you got to remember is the chatbot is a one-to-many. The chatbot's a heck of a lot faster, and the chatbot's usually more accurate. Human responses are only 89% accurate. And we only know what we know. I mean, sometimes I have a photographic memory, but there's a lot of times that I just don't remember stuff. If I wrote it down, I can remember where I wrote it down and what side of the paper, but I won't remember exactly what I wrote down, right? And so you can imagine, like with us, we've been in business 20 years now. And the 13 years I've been here, I've done easily well over 1,000 pieces of collateral. I don't remember every single piece of information from every piece of collateral we've ever produced. And you can imagine the new salespeople that I got that are manning the live chat, they don't remember it all. But the chatbot does, right? So for me, the chatbot's amazing because of that, right? And we can use our time, like you said, on more strategic things for the business that provide a much better return than sitting there and trying to have 1, 2, 3, 4 people manning live chat instances because we have traffic on the website, right? So AI scales where humans can't. It just is. It's faster than we are, and that's great. And which kind of leads us into the next one. And Clarity's done 2 of these projects. I don't know if you've done any of these or want to talk to any of these, but it's kind of the same thing, but it's for after hours, where we can now implement and integrate IVR, which is the independent voice recognition, right? Which is kind of great because now we did a couple of medical projects where for hospitals, as soon as they leave, at 5 o'clock and the front desk goes home, instead of having to man that front desk 24/7, they flip it over to this answering service, if you will, right? But now when they call, the person calls in, the chatbot speaks back to me over the phone and says, "How can I help you?" Well, yeah, I'd like to, I broke my arm. I did this. It may ask me a few more questions about my arm, and then it can tell me intelligently, should I go to the ER? Should I schedule an appointment to get an x-ray tomorrow? Do I have COVID? What's your temperature? It's really smart about asking things. And I can do a heck of a lot more. Like, what sounds like you need an appointment. Let me check the calendar and see which doctor has appointment availability tomorrow morning. Okay, I can see Dr. Bob's got a 10 a.m. tomorrow. Would you like that appointment? Yes, and they can schedule appointments. I need to check my account and see what my balance is. Your balance is $110. Would you like to make a payment? There are so many things that it can do after hours because customer sat, remember, customer sat, we're all in this Amazon generation with Prime where we're used to getting everything immediately, everything fast, everything free, right? And our expectations are so much more than they used to be. And that includes in our medical care. And we all know that the insurance companies are denying a lot more and making our doctors spend less and less time with us. My wife and I were literally talking about this yesterday. Our dermatologist told us the other day that their insurance is forcing them down to 15-minute appointments. That's it. That's all that insurance will cover anymore. And so the care is going down. So how do we keep our patients and our customers happy when our time and our ability to service them keeps going down? Do you have any other IVR projects, or you want to talk about number 2, or you want to take?
No, we don't. I don't. We haven't done any IVR components yet from that, so I thought that was a good one for you to talk about. I know you and I have discussed that before, and I think that's really a great use case, right? Especially when you're looking at, really the interaction with a customer 24/7, and irregardless of whatever channel their choice of communication is, whether it's web or in this case phone. Friends of Commerce has not done projects like that, but I do think that that is a really good application, especially for specific industries. And I know that Clarity has a pretty strong presence in sort of like the medical hospital sort of world, where I think that's probably quite applicable.
Yeah, for sure.
So, on our side, where we're more, I would say, digitally focused, the using AI for enhancing search is a great application. I mean, when I think back, not that long ago, really, when you're looking at, e-commerce, whether it's B2B or B2C, really, whatever it is, one of the most critical components of any sort of commerce site, mobile or desktop, whatever it is search. How are you helping your customers, or prospects for that matter, get to where they want to go as quickly as possible? And look, we're, not everyone's great at, sort of prompting search terms and understanding what they're looking for. I mean, I remember when natural language search was like a big evolution, right? Where you could actually like put in a sentence and search would go, okay, I can interpret this and say, these are the products. But there's still a lot of sort of, attribution that needs to happen. You need to have, sort of product categories, and this product goes with that product. And there was a lot of manual effort behind the scenes where you needed to sort of construct your data, enable your search to bring forward results. And you would still get results where, there wasn't a product, it returned a 0, or you wouldn't have a great association of, other products that are similar. Somebody put in this, well, we have that, or things of that nature. There was still quite a bit of effort it took to really make that work well. And now with AI, there's a lot that you can do that AI just learns from, and you don't have to have all that behind the scenes sort of process and data configuration and association and attribution and all these things. AI can do that for you and provide a really, good recommendation and make that interaction with your customer prospect work quite well, where they're getting right to the product they want, or right to the content they want. They can see other things that are relevant. And that's just going to, if somebody can go in and quickly get to where they want to go, that's going to be the experience that's going to lead them to keep coming back, or facilitate them further down your engagement, whether that leads to some form of conversion or transaction, depending upon the type of site you have. But that's a really important one. And, we're seeing that, when you talk about like conversions, whatever that is, whatever your definition of a conversion is, it could be signing up for something. It could be, it could be a purchase, any of that. Forrester's estimation on their side, they're seeing that, the increase in conversions is somewhere between 15 to 25% through leveraging AI as the engine that's powering search, in comparison to just a few years ago, where it was all these things that I was just talking about, where it took to do that. So I think that's, and there's a lot of examples, and obviously companies that are out there that focus on search have adopted this, because it's candidly, it's a requirement at this point in time. So for companies that are maybe a little bit earlier in their digital journey, this is a great way to sort of, supercharge your outcomes through the application of AI that's improving, the experience of your customer, and improving, materially and measurably the outcomes in conversions.
Yeah, I think this one I think is more important. Like you said, the Forrester set up to 25% increase in revenue and conversions, right? I think what people don't understand is they're like, well, I already have Elasticsearch. I mean, Clarity's got Elasticsearch embedded in our e-commerce. We have for 15 years, right? And so with Elasticsearch, it's really powerful. It's really configurable. It already has fuzzy logic matching if they typo and misspell. So why do I need AI in my search, right? I don't think I need it. And I'll bet you 90% of the companies out there think that exact same way because they don't truly understand how AI can benefit their search. But what AI can do that an Elasticsearch and a traditional search engine can't do is I can go in and say, hey, I'm buying a laptop for my kid who's going to college and they're going to study statistics and calculus. They're going to be in mathematics. And I don't want to spend more than about $1,200, but I need a laptop that works really well for a college student, performs really well for mathematics, can be used for this. And I can do things where it can say, well, here are the top 3 selling laptops that meet your criteria that would work really well, that fit your budget, that have been our top sellers for the last 14 months. Yeah, it can do so much more, right? It can evaluate sales trends. It can evaluate other things and make decisions about going different directions than anything else, right? I could ask it a question about a product and then say, but I'm on a tight budget. So can you look at all of the products that do these 3 things and then bring me back the top 2 least expensive products? Right. And it can do that.
Yeah.
A regular search doesn't do anything like that. Right. I mean, we go in typically, I go to Best Buy and I type in gaming laptops and it comes back, it gives me 72 laptops. And then I have to spend an hour and a half researching all of them to figure out which one to get for my kid. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the best search can do, but AI powered search can do so much more. Kind of leads us into number 4. You kind of mentioned there was the 2 different buckets, the customer focused and the internal focus. So let's move to the internal focus and have you kick us off with that now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that just as beneficial as this can be for your customers, it can be for your teams, right? Ultimately, because especially with organizations that have a lot of information, you've got a lot of products or you've got a lot of, very nuanced information on the products that you're offering. I mean, you can think about, I know that one of the examples, and I think you'll mention this coming up, is like with I think they're a client that had a lot of different insurance sort of offerings, and in areas where it was very nuanced. You had very specific sort of information that could lead to very different. Hey, here's the things, but or the best policies, or here's the pros and cons of these. The other thing I think about a lot of what we see is distributors that have huge product catalogs where you could have 100 different similar components that vary due to very finite sort of differences in dimensions or differences in the materials or those sort of things, and you can't expect your teams to understand all that. So like being able to, if somebody going back to they're working with a client, clearly you're still having traditional sales engagements. When I think about B2B companies where we send sort of folks, like you still have field sales folks that are out there meeting with your customers. They're still talking. You want them to be, right now, the benefit of a lot of AI and digital is the sort of the road applications and the more sort of transactional things AI can handle and really speed up and enable the team. And in this case, in my example, a sales rep to be way more strategic, spend your time understanding your client, understanding their needs. But then you have this internal tool where you can use for example, like an internal chatbot where you as the resource for the company can get all that information almost instantaneously when you gather a few key, data points from the customer, you get that information and then you can talk to them and share that information with them and really sort of cut down the amount of time it takes for you to sort of gather that information. You can present it to the client and talk about the strategic application of it instead of spending all your time doing research, right? I mean, that's the benefit of AI is efficiency, so that you can have more meaningful engagements, have all the information at your fingertips, and do so in a way that really grows the relationship and is going to lead to better outcomes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we could spend, 20 minutes on each of these. And I know there's 10 of them. And so instead of spending 20 minutes on each, we'll just kind of highlight them. And then if you have any comments, put them in the thing, and we'd love to have a free conversation with you to talk about any of these and drill in further. So yeah, the internal AI chatbot's great. Like I said, I've got well over 1,000 pieces of collateral, and up until recently, and I'm actually building an internal AI project for Clarity right now called AI Asset Manager with our OpenRails platform. And one thing I'm doing is for our sales reps, like you said, anytime somebody says, well, do you have anything that shows an account sync with SysPro? They can literally go in and ask the AI, hey, do we have anything that shows or talks about account syncing with SysPro? And it'll come back and go, yes, as a matter of fact, we have 2 videos and 1 white paper that talks about this. And I'll be like, great. There's nothing in the title of any of those assets that a search filter or search engine would be able to know that. But because it's ingested the entire transcripts of the videos and the white papers and everything, I can literally ask the chatbot, does any of our collateral talk about that? And it can come back and say, yes, as a matter of fact, here's 3 pieces. And then they can turn around and go, hey, here's a couple of videos and a white paper that actually talk about that. And they send those links immediately to the client. The client looks at it and goes, great, this is exactly what I was looking for. And so that's how we're going to use it here at Clarity. I'm literally building that project as we speak. The next one also about customers, but internal, is how hot are my customers under the collar, right? So why don't you talk a little bit about number 5 here and tell us what that is?
Yeah, I mean, using things like, analyzing support chats, analyzing, customer feedback. You can even do things like analyzing if you've got, things going on your social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, and look at, okay, what is the sort of the sentiment of the, customers. And I think back to, it wasn't all that long ago, I was working at an AI and machine learning company, and there was a little bit of a different definition of AI at that point in time, but it was a company that was a financial company, and they were looking at tons and tons of data and trying to understand, what clients were at risk of churning. And they wanted to focus on, okay, if they're giving us signals, and at that point in time, trying to find what the signal was like looking for a needle in a haystack, right? Yeah. To identify, okay, this person, they're acting like someone that terminates our service. Yeah. Now with AI, you can really put a lot more information in there. You can do it more in real time. You can get that information so that your team or your systems or whatever it is can identify those sort of customers that maybe aren't, sending or putting out signals in a bunch of different channels that would, make you think that maybe they are at risk. Maybe they're not happy with the service. Maybe they need some more information, and just that identification, so you can take and apply your resources towards, retaining those customers. I mean, the best new customer is an old customer, right? Like the cost of customer acquisition is high. You don't want to lose them, especially if you could have avoided it, if you knew that there was maybe an issue. And a lot of times it's just about, maybe that they just didn't understand something, or they didn't know where to find something. And if you can give that to them and they feel, oh, wow, okay, they actually know me. They actually are interested in, keeping my business. Okay, I'd rather not switch. I'll stay. So that sort of sentiment analysis and looking at things and looking at, like I say, the tickets that are coming in, support chats, things, are all that sort of stuff. And then, creating a sort of a set of action items internally once you've identified those individuals and how you're going to engage with them and put them on a different sort of cadence or whatever it is, can be a meaningful impact to retention and revenue and all those sort of things. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, we've again, our AI before, we had a machine learning module for about the last 5 or 10 years, and we would program things like measure the number of logins that RJ's done in the e-commerce system.
Exactly.
Are the sales trending down? How many products did he buy historically? And looking at past trends. Right now, we can go in and we can ask things like, hey, do you notice anything in RJ's purchasing behavior on our e-commerce site that's different than what he's done for the last 3 years? And it can go back and analyze and go, well, his large purchases have dropped by 28%, although the number of purchases has stayed the same. It may look the same to you, but his large purchases have dropped 28%. He's only logging in an average of 2.4 times a month now, where it used to be 13.2 times. whatever, right? There's things that we just don't see because we don't have time to analyze millions of pieces of data that AI can. And we can now even ask AI without even knowing what we're searching for. And I think that's the most important. Could you please go look at our, my top 5 revenue accounts and tell me if you see any anomalies, or are they trending up? Are they trending down? And can you tell me if any are at risk? And it can go out and do analysis that we're not even programming into the AI. And that's where it's really important. You mentioned risk analysis, and that's actually number 6. Risk analysis and anomaly detection. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Can you tell any anomalies in their behavior? Are there any things at risk? Are there any fraud patterns? Are there any differences in their orders? Are they not ordering something that they typically ordered and reordered over and over again that they're not anymore? Maybe a price got lower at a competitor and now all of a sudden they're still ordering from us, but they used to order X from us consistently and they've no longer ordered that for the last 3 months, but I didn't detect it because they're still ordering other things from us, right? Anything you want to add for number 6 on that risk analysis?
No, I mean, I think it is sort of a similar framework. It's just you're applying a different set of data that you're looking for, and the anomaly is different. And maybe the anomaly is more about, potentially fraudulent transactions or things of that nature versus retention. But a lot of it is, it's a little bit of a similar sort of configuration. It's just using a different data source in a way that's, you're getting a different question using the same sort of process. So I think there's ways that you can apply that in a couple different scenarios to get value.
Yeah. That leads us to number 7, which is the customer or partner onboarding. Now, one of the things that I've done, I'm the one actually that coded our partner onboarding channel and our help center. And one of the things that I'm planning on doing over the next X number of months, obviously busy, but as I can fit it in and I start doing these AI projects, I want to add AI to both the partner portal and our help center for customers. So what would I add AI? Well, I'm going to add at least 2 things, and we've already talked about them. One, I'm going to put the AI chatbot up front. So when they come in there and go, hey, do you have any information in the help center about X? And it can go back and do that. And then obviously the one you talked about a minute ago about the AI powered search, right? I can go in and add AI to the search. And so they can come in and engage with the chatbot directly and potentially get answers instantaneously. Or if they go in to do their search, the search can be a lot more intuitive and find a lot more information. And I can feed, because right now, everything that's in the help desk, I coded, I linked, I embedded, right? I physically wrote the code, I physically added in there. But if I could turn around and take all 1,000 pieces of collateral that I've generated over the last few years and just dump it in and let it import it, I don't have to do all that work, right? It's going to save me hundreds of hours of work, and it's going to exponentially add more data and more information that can be provided to my customers very, very rapidly. And so what do you think about customer or partner onboarding?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the thinking about it from, hey, I'm a partner with Clarity, right? When I think about it, it's a lot of time is sometimes the biggest, and not sometimes, most times is our most challenging commodity. So how can I, as a partner, get the information quickly to enable me to better understand, the resources that are available to me, the application of those resources, those sort of things. When you go through, I've led partnerships in many organizations, and I've been a partner to a bunch of organizations. And, going through sort of this very, sort of mechanical process of onboarding, my guess is you probably have a lot of partners that just at some point in time say, okay, this just isn't worth my time. So, maybe, you want your partner to get the information, get through the process, understand what it is, and start to see value quickly, or else the partnership's probably not going to be successful. So doing that and again, giving that efficiency to your partners to where the resources can adapt to what their needs are through a process that is using AI, that's surfacing those things to them in real time, is just going to keep the momentum going. I'm a big believer in momentum, right? If momentum stops, the likelihood of it's going to start again. It's like the most effort is to get the rock to roll over the first time. Once it's going, you just want to keep it going. So if it stops, you're at risk. So the fact that you can continue that momentum easily through using AI is going to lead to a lot more productive interactions with partners, and the partners are going to get value, which is going to keep them to be partners, which is going to help them promote, what you're doing as the partner to them. So I think that all makes perfect sense and is super valuable. Again, we're talking about efficiency and time and momentum and value.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what this next one, number 8, is assisting, using AI to assist in underwriting or quote qualification, right? And it's all about the momentum and time. Matter of fact, McKinsey says that using AI to help with either qualifying or manually doing quotes, qualifying underwriting, qualifying loan applications, things like that, can reduce manual time by 40 to 60%. Right. I mean, we've heard the negative of that, right? AI has been used on like Indeed, and a lot of companies are doing it for resumes now, right? And so people that are more than qualified now are coming in and not even getting callbacks. And everybody's starting to understand that it's because AI is too strict. And when they go into program AI to look for things, they're not fully understanding, they're programming the wrong things, and they're weeding out great candidates, right? And so obviously we have to properly weed out the proper people and flag things. So maybe instead of weeding out the applications, maybe it's going out and doing things like checking RJ's, things that I had to do manually before was I had to go out and check RJ's job, see how long he was there, check his social security number, make sure it's valid, go out and do a credit check, all the things that I used to have to do and run down that would take time through underwriting. Every time we've done a loan on a house, we all know how long that takes. What if I could reduce that time by 60%? Right. And that's really where AI can come in. And it can start looking at other things like in their credit, there were 3 flags of late payment, or in their credit, there were denials of whatever, right? There's other things that it can do when it gets the data, rather than going in and saying, yeah, RJ's got a 750, he's got a good credit score, which most of the time that's what they do. But it could go deeper, look at all the data and go in there and say, yeah, he's got a 750 now, but 4 years ago, he had 13 late payments, and so they may pick up the phone and call RJ, and you can say, yeah, I was in a bad accident and I was out of work for 8 months and we had some financial issues back then, but we've recovered. Fine. Okay, great. We'll let him go forward, right? But anyway, anything you want to add to the AI underwriting?
Yeah, I mean, I see this again focusing on B2B a lot. It's around the quoting piece, right? There's a lot of companies out there that sort of their initial, toe in the water of commerce online is taking quotes or getting quotes or a lot of time it's just getting someone that says, I want a quote. Then you have to connect with them and gather information. There's a lot that you can use AI to make that happen more in real time. So that, especially going back to the, talking about, a distributor or manufacturer that has, a massive catalog, right? Getting it on, or it's a very complicated project, or maybe some project that has a level of customization in it. Using AI to gather that in more of that information and do that more proactively is just going to cut down on that time, right? Again, it goes back to momentum. If you can, hey, somebody's looking at a purchase and it's a complicated purchase and they want to get a quote, if you can get them that information and get that information back to them accurately and more efficiently, there's going to be a really high correlation to a conversion, more of a better conversion. So 100%. That's where I really see this on sort of the B2B commerce side, or even or services for that matter. So instead of just having an old school form that's first name, last name, email address, and an open field, tell me what you're interested in. I mean, that's those days are numbered in how long are the new age of buyers out there going to tolerate that? Probably not. Yeah. Right. They won't. Yeah. So that's my sort of spin on that.
Yeah. Two quick statistics that I remember you and I had found before, but we've talked before in previous webinars. One was 71% of winning the deal or converting is being the first to provide the answer back. Right. And another one, a Google one, just from, I think, last year, said that 77% of people that come to your site, if they don't find what they're looking for on the first chance to search for it or look for it, either via navigation or search, 77% will leave and never come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to know if AI powered search and these chatbots are important. Yeah, because if they don't find what they need very rapidly and very quickly, they're going to leave and never come back. 77% do that.
and you still invested money to get them there in the first place.
That's right. You
Right?
did. Yeah. Yeah. All the SEO, all the ads, everything you did to try to bring them there. You
Yep.
spent all the money to bring them there, and then you dropped the ball on the CRO, the conversion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The next one, number 9, the AI powered tech support. So there's 2 applications that I can see here, and then I'll kind of turn over to you to talk about that. One, obviously, we can throw the chatbot in front of tech support. So when they call in tech support, first off, talk to a chatbot. Hey, maybe I can help you solve your problem. What are you seeing today? They say it. They looks in there and go, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about I have to do this all manually, but in our neighborhood, we only have one internet option, Spectrum. And whenever there's an outage, I have to manually go to their website on my phone, right? Because it's the only thing I've got. I go on my phone, I go to the website, I look for service outage, and I have to read and go through the thing. It takes me about 5 or 7 minutes. And then I finally find that there is a service outage in my area and I can't do anything about it. I can't open a ticket. They don't allow me to do anything. If there's a service outage, they won't even take the call anymore, right? That's just the way Spectrum works. So putting an AI on the front, I could call in and go, hey, is there an outage in my neighborhood? What's your address? Put in my address and go, yes, your outage is out. We think it might be up in 3 hours. It's already been logged in the help center. Thanks for calling. I can hang up and I can be done in 20 seconds. That would be much nicer experience for me as a customer than every time there's an outage spending 7 or 8 minutes on my phone trying to navigate their website to find out if there's a service outage in my area. That's just one simple thing. But AI could be used to ensure that when RJ calls in to open a ticket, it guides me through all the information that needs to be put in and make sure I've got all the required information, asking appropriate questions that we all know. If you've ever been in support, I mean, I started back in support in WordPress, WordPerfect back in 1990, right? And that was the whole thing. Every time somebody would open a ticket, they would only give you about 10% of the real story, right? And then we had to get on a call, and then I'd spend 45 minutes talking to RJ to figure out what his thing, and before I finally figured out what the problem was, and then we could solve the issue on the phone. So on the front end, we think of chatbot. On the back end, and this is where people don't think about it, I could have, let's say I have Zendesk or some help desk, and RJ opens a ticket and throws the stuff in there. Well, guess who I could have triage that? I could have AI triage that, go through the information and come back and go, RJ never told us what operating system he's on. We can't do anything without knowing the operating system. And it could auto-generate an email back to RJ and say, hey, regarding ticket 234 that you just opened 3 minutes ago, here's the additional 3 pieces of information that we need to send the team before we can move your ticket into submission for the team to look at. And then RJ can go, oh, you're right. Sorry, I didn't put that information. He types it in, he sends it back, pulls it in from the email, sticks it back in there, and then automatically forwards the ticket onto the team, right? So the analysis and triaging is also another one. You could also use it for things like every 5 minutes, AI goes through all the tickets in the help desk system, and it takes a temperature of how hot under the collar these submissions are, right? It can take things like words that they're using, the size of the company, how important they are. Do they have an SLA, yes or no? Are they using bad language? Things like that to know how hot under the collar they are so they can potentially auto-escalate things before it has to go through the first technician, the second technician trying to fix it 3 or 4 times before they finally escalate it to management. RJ, you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's, I mean, I think it is just maybe applying some similar sort of strategies in a very specific channel. So I do think that makes a ton of sense.
Now, well, this last one's a fun one. Why don't you introduce this topic and let's talk about it for a minute.
Well, this one is more, clearly an internal focus, right? But looking at, sort of performance. I mean, there's all kinds of different, different companies have different structures in how they're doing OKRs or KPIs or whatever success metrics they're doing. But a lot of times, those are super high level because that's all they can gather. The important thing of using AI for is you can ingest a lot more data to really understand and get much more specific information and feedback and assessment of performance. And performance could be a bunch of different things. It could be the easiest and one is revenue, right? You can look at revenue performance. You can look at whether it's by different product categories, by different time frames, by different markets, different geos, whatever you're looking at, you can, I mean, it's a much more simplified interaction from the user side, but you can use a lot more data than having to use, I'm sure there's, a lot of companies out there that have complicated BI systems and that sort of stuff that are running various reports. But now you can do that a little bit more ad hoc. You can drill in, you can make it more like more iterative, more, faster versus, hey, I need to write this new report. I got a different question. Can I have my BI expert, iterate this report because I want to see this other thing? Now AI, you can do that near real time and really, sort of as you start to see like, oh, that looks like it's a little bit of a red light. Let me drill and go. You can go very, very deep and find out exactly what you're looking at and use that to make more informed business decisions, whether it's on, should you expand this product category? Should you, are you having problems with quality, for example? Maybe it's outside of this, sort of accepted tolerance, or all these different things. Depending upon the type of business, you can use AI to really help, not only at a broad level, but then drill into a deep level. And it's just getting that information much more accurately and in a much more timely manner is going to inform you as a business leader, or maybe a leader of a specific department or whatever it is inside of the business, to make better decisions. And I know that's still pretty high level, but I think that's an important application of it.
Yeah, I think about our weekly sales meeting that we have here at Clarity, right? And we are HubSpot users and certified HubSpot partners. And so we have some really, really good dashboards and some really good stuff, but we get 15 salespeople on these weekly calls, and we're looking at, pipelines and deals and appointments set and all that kind of stuff. And we're analyzing all that data. But for the most part, that dashboard is the last 7 days compared to the previous 7 days, right? And it has all that in the dashboard. But what would be really good is if we see something like RJ saying in real time, I could go back to the AI and go, hey, I noticed that leads, it looks to me like, we went from, and I'm making up numbers here, we went from 30 leads to 27 leads. That's 10%. And I remember last week we were up 10%. So not a big deal. But to be able to go in and say, can you tell me, is this an anomaly, or is this something that happens every Q1? Go look at the last 19 years and tell me if this is a trend or not. And then, go back. Or can you tell me how we do, like RJ said, we're heavy in medical. 30% of everything we touch is in healthcare and medical projects, right? We do a lot of medical stuff. So it would be devastating to us if our medical projects and our leads in that industry were trending down while anything else was trending up. So we didn't notice it because the number of leads looked pretty flat. The number of deals looked pretty flat. The pipeline looked pretty good. But meanwhile, our bread and butter, our medical is declining 12% a year over the last 13 years. And we didn't see that, right? That would be devastating to us. So the fact that RJ said, to be able to drill down and see that in near real time, that's the really important thing that AI can do, right? You could even program AI and say, hey, I want you to go back and analyze these 72 different things. And if you see anything drop more than 10% over previous month, previous week, previous quarter, previous 5 years into trend, automatically pull that into a report and send an email to the sales management team. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there on a Thursday and an email pops into my mailbox and it says, hey, medical healthcare over the last 5 years has dropped more than 10% this year. That would change now and make a business decision what we would have to attack and what we would do. So AI can handle, that's the most important thing I think about this, is AI can handle a lot more data a lot faster. And
yeah,
so
you know what?
Go ahead.
It makes me think about, like, you could also take that and say, okay, well, now that we've got this, can you correlate that with, stock market performance?
Yeah.
Or, specific, materials markets, or whatever you want, and go, okay, is this a problem that's just on our side, or is it a reflection of broader, economic components that are impacting, a market that we're focusing on? And maybe we need to change our messaging or do something in regards to that to go, okay, or we can sort of be anticipatory, saying, okay, it's trending that way because of these external factors. So we need to offer a promotion in this sector because we know that that's maybe economically challenged and we want to still, grow within a certain amount. So maybe there's things that we can do proactively to keep us in the positive spot. And you could never do that really, or be super difficult to do that without AI to ingest all these external data points.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully today we at least gave you a handful of ideas. There's 10 ideas of how you could potentially use AI in your business. Again, this is our business. This is what we've done for years. We do this day in and day out. We have a lot more examples. We just tried to bubble up the top 10 most popular ones. So reach out to us, throw a comment, smash the like button, reach out for a free consultation. RJ and myself, we'd love to sit down with you, chat about your AI project and see if it's something we can help with. Hope to see you soon on our next webinar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.